In 2021, the Indian Premier League sold two new franchises, Gujarat Titans and Lucknow Super Giants, for a total of 1.53 billion US dollars or 12,715 crore in INR. The average cost of these franchises is a remarkable 8 times higher than that of the initial teams of the league, which were sold in 2008. Even if we consider around 300% inflation within this period, it still might seem severely overvalued. But what if I told you that these eye-watering sums are not just gamble, but have the potential for some staggering returns? Welcome to the channel, and let's look at the numbers of the IPL and understand why everyone is lining up to get a piece of this lucrative pie. A recent report by one financial consultancy firm has revealed that investment in IPL teams have given significantly much higher returns than blue chip stocks. So what exactly are these blue chip stocks? These are shares of well-established profitable companies with a history of reliable growth, which are immune to market downturns. And so often they are considered safe and reliable investments for long-term investors, like Nike or Apple. Difference between these stocks and IPL teams become even clearer if we compare their returns from 2008, which is the year of inception of IPL, to till date. That time, if you had invested in Coca-Cola, you would have gotten a return of 2.2 times. Nike would have provided a return of 7.1 times, and Microsoft would have resulted in a return of 14 times. But IPL teams potentially give returns from 18 to 29 times in the 16 years. Highest return has been achieved by Rajasthan Royals, with the team's valuation skyrocketing by 2,907%. Following closely behind is the Kolkata Knight Riders, boasting a remarkable return on investment of 28 times. And next in the line is the Chennai Super Kings, with the impressive ROI of 24 times. Even when considering Indian blue chip stocks exclusively, Hindustan Unilever, one of the most trusted and top performing stocks, provided a remarkable ROI of 13 times. Meanwhile, the IT giant Infosys generated a return of approximately 6 times during the same period. So why wouldn't venture capitalists and top businessperson want to invest into this money-spinning tournament? It's not like association football, for example, where owners of large and historic clubs struggle to make regular profits, and where investors in mid-level or smaller clubs face the annual prospect of punishing financial consequences if they're relegated to a lower division. It's not a surprise that the LSG owner has leveled the acquisition cost of his team as fair value.
Significant. I don't think it's a high value. I think it's a fair value.
Not only potential investors, advertisers also consider IPL as a safer and more lucrative investment than any ICC tournaments, be it ODI World Cup or T20. Probably that's why advertisers are willing to pay 1.5 to 2 times more for those 10-second ad slots during IPL. And the first half of the league witnessed 38% rise in advertisers too. So what exactly makes this league the safest bet for everyone? Well, unlike the World Cup, where things can go wrong at times and the popular teams, especially India, could make an early exit, in the IPL an Indian team wins every night.
This is history.
At the 2007 World Cup or 2021 T20 World Cup, for example, the moment India lost, their interest in the tournament nosedived. Broadcasters lost a lot of money and the economics of the tournament went haywire. Whereas 2011 World Cup was a huge success, at least from a monetary point of view. In the international matches, India may face defeats on occasions, but with IPL, you can never go wrong. In the latest broadcasting deal, IPL media rights went for around $6 billion in Indian market, which is a 300% rise from the 2016-17 valuation of $2 billion. Whereas the rights for the ICC events auctioned in 2022 for 4 years for the Indian market went for $2.8 billion, which is half of the IPL value. And this remarkable surge in media rights deal directly impacts the overall league valuation, currently standing at approximately $11.2 billion and making it one of the most valuable sports leagues in the world. According to a senior sports investment executive, there is no other sports property that has grown at this pace and cracked the top 5 of the most valuable global sports league in a span of 15 years. It's completely unprecedented. What's more, all the IPL teams apart from the 2 newest ones that were formed in 2021 are profitable. Although it took 10 years for the teams to break even, But the league has reached a stage where franchises will see financial success regardless of on-field performances. And that essentially explains why they were profitable even in the pandemic while playing inside empty stadiums.
The Mumbai Indians have been head and shoulders above every other team.
And all of this is made possible by those astronomical broadcasting deals. The tournament receives $13.4 million per match, surpassing the broadcasting revenues of any other sports league in the world, including the NFL, NBA or English Premier League. The number is undoubtedly obscure, but if you dig a little deeper, this enormous figure poses a problem too. Quite a huge one actually, that might hinder the off-field numbers. You see, BCCI and IPL teams generate revenue from 4 major sources: media rights or broadcasting agreement, sponsorships, ticket sales and merchandising. Interestingly, over 77% of that money comes from the media rights deals, contrary to other major sports leagues where on an average 50% of the total revenue comprises broadcasting money. So in the IPL, even if the matches do not sell any tickets or franchises fail to attract any sponsors, their team would still be profitable because of that fixed sum broadcasters are guaranteed to pay. Evidently, this has made franchises have made very little effort to raise their own revenues, such as merchandising, which amounts to less than 2% of an IPL team's revenue versus nearly 20 to 30% in other sports leagues. Also, if we go by history, sports deals have always been a loss leader for media companies. Take for example Disney star Viacom or ESPN, who are recording continuous losses in consecutive financial years. So with the unprecedented hike in the latest IPL broadcasting deal, fewer platforms might chase Premier League media rights in future. And this lower demand will drive the valuation down and will eventually hurt the revenue model, potentially impacting the growth of the league in the long run. According to Bloomberg, IPL is still undervalued and undermonetized too. This aspect is somewhat associated with the purchasing power of the fans, meaning that despite IPL's immense popularity, there is a lot of untapped potential for the revenue generation. For example, whereas average American spends nearly $85 during NFL Super Bowl, in the IPL finals, average Indians spend nearly $10 to $15. So if Indian GDP continues to develop in future, purchasing power of average Indians will increase. That might boost spending during this 2-month-long cricket carnival and will essentially translate into higher monetization of the Indian Premier League. Recently, Saudi Arabia has announced their interest to buy 16% stake of the league at a valuation of $30 billion, which is nearly 3 times of the current number. Or US investment firms CVC Capital's Glazer, Silver Lake, Bain Capital have already invested or in talks with BCCI for some kind of investment. But the difficulty for would-be investors is now a lack of opportunity, because even after its expansion, the league still has only 10 franchises, and no one's interested in parting ways with the team they own. Also, Indian Cricket Board is somewhat reluctant about direct foreign investment into the league. Maybe BCCI values it more than that aforementioned valuation. And given the Indians' obsession with the sport and the athletes associated with it, the potential of the league is limitless, and presumably no one would like to miss out on this gold mine.